When you say tips to the left, are you referring to when you're taking off or mid-flight? Well, there are a lot of factors that can play into that for sure. Symmetrical helps, but is not entirely required. I I don't think we're gonna make this one. Gonna try to absorb some of the speed here with the landing gear. I'm actually surprised we made it this far. Perhaps we'll add air brakes next, yes? If you do it just the right way, the wheel bounce.
This thing is unnecessarily fast. I'm wondering, like, if this engine and intake setup allows us to achieve speeds like this, I wonder if I rebuild the fuselage using Mark II parts, slimmer design, if that's gonna let us hit ludicrous speeds. I always love when they do that, don't you? Oh my god, that, ugh. Well, auto strut definitely helps. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like a wobbly rocket as much as the next guy, but yeah, no, auto strut's where it's at. I'm gonna try to bring it around again. Half the runway is destroyed. We're just trying. Malcolm wants to go home. And we have lost control. Ugh. No, no, no. I'll remember you, Malcolm. All right, let's take what we like out of this design and take out what we don't. So it seems this intake to lift to thrust ratio is excellent for achieving high speeds. Even pushing this monster, this like just hulk of non-aerodynamics through air very quickly. So we're gonna take this. This engine cluster seems to work well. However, this is too much. How much fuel do we have here? I do most of my designs in here. Let's see, 2,000 fuel. So let's match that 2,000 fuel, huh? Probably gonna be a lot longer. Size. Let's see here. This has 316, so to get 2,000's worth, you need a lot. Let's do it like this. Okay, so 3, 6. $12. Okay. I'll just rebuild that. See if we can do that. Probably gonna drop that down. There we go. Got to compensate. Put something here. So instead of catching the, well, we're gonna catch the air either way, but let's make it so we catch the air the way that we like. So because if you're going to be catching air, you might as well be turning it into fuel. Air being the other half of the fuel mixture for in-atmosphere engines. Put that there. Put that on there like that. Now, when it comes to my building, I don't really do a lot of phasing with parts that contain fuel or have function. Or I like to keep it as realistic as possible because you could just like phase like 10 fuel tanks into each other and make a hyper dense fuel, but I really only do that for like my Star Wars builds where realism is not as necessary. So I only do maybe 10 to 15% um, phasing for parts that contain fuel. Let's see here, 4 of those. Catch that. How could we break that? Oh, okay. Go options, settings, music off. And I like to match up lines too. A lot of the shape of my craft is determined by where lines like to meet at. Okay. Hey, no problem. See, I like that. Not a huge fan of this catch right here, so let's go ahead and put some. I mean, heck, let's put some more aerodynamics in there, yeah? We'll do a times 4 on that. Okay, radial. Let's bring that in a little bit. Okay, this thing is an intake beast. Actually, don't like that. I don't like that at all. Let's take that off of there. Let's take that off of there. Let's go ahead and convert that up to a Mark III. There, that's a little smoother. I like that a lot better. Don't like how those are interacting, so we are going to bring this in up here. That, that. Give her a little bit of curve here. I think gotta buy a little space here to account for that. So let's make it so we can have passengers. Bring that up to here. Down to that. Alright. I'm liking that. Let's see if we bought ourselves enough space. No. Okay, let's take that off of there. I think we're just going to go straight into the intake right there. Yeah, I like that. Hi, Meg. I'm working on this today. Let's see. We're going to want to bring that out and around. Best way to do that. Let's use a structural. That's a little aggressive. I want an 8th generation. And we're going to bring that back in. The whole thing needs to raise up. Okay, we like that. We like that. How are we looking for our aerodynamic profile? Garbage, hot garbage. So we need more wingage back here. Let's integrate some wings. Gonna split the difference on that angle we just made. Okay. Transport. Alright. Thermal here. Mark III parts. Okay. We like that. Alright, let's add big elevon here. Put that there. Give her a bit of rotation here. We're gonna like that. Bring that up, bring that out. Okay. Let's check the deploy angle. If we're not occluding ourselves, that's perfect. Actually gonna bring this a little forward. Bring that a little back. Good natural flow there. Alright, let's add some more wing in here. I think. No, I don't like that. Well, could like that. Not with that there. We do like that. Let's bring it up in it. Actually, no, we're gonna keep a more slender profile on this one. Take that off of there. No, screw that. Okay, let's. I've got it. Intake, intake, intake. Don't worry, this isn't gonna go here. Shit. There we go. We like that. Don't worry, view. It's not gonna go here. I'm just borrowing the. I'm just borrowing the symmetry. Consider it like a workbench. Okay. I don't have enough intakes. Thank you. I think you're completely right. Okay. I don't think we need this here, but I'm going to put this here. 500 more intakes? No, I don't think so. But we are going to integrate some heat dispersion here. Auto strut. Activate. Blasphemy! And another. And one more. Actually, I think the two is just fine. I think I'm gonna put a wing on there too. This one? Yeah. Yeah, that'll do just fine. Hmm. Okay. And then what will we put here? Ah, we'll see. We'll see where it sits. Okay, so now I'm going to take it off of here. Actually, first and foremost, that was kind of a pain to build. I'm going to name this intake wing so we can play with it later if we want to. Alright, let's see what they look like on the side. Okay. I think we'll put this right here. Gonna go commit a felony. Maybe don't. The Airbus Beluga. Alright, so I'm gonna put 4 jet engines across this. Yeah. Structural. Put this here. Double that up. Good place to put electronics. So we'll put some batteries into here. And then we're going to add a bicoupler. Scooch this over here. Squelch that into there. Scotch it over there. Okay. And how'd I scare you? There we go. Alright, so we got good looking aerodynamics. Intake's beautiful. Look at that. That's hot. We like that. Um, I don't like this gap here. Bicoupler. Yes. Happens all the time. What am I going to put right there? Possibly more intake? Dead space? Wingage. We'll leave that open for now. For now. Actually. Probably bring this whole thing back a bit. Yeah, so you like that. Let's bring her forward. Right about there. That should give us good lift. Yeah, that should look nice. It does. Amazing. Okay. All right. Now we need a means to land it. Hmm. Just slap some landing gear on it and see what it wants to do. No, 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 Max says. You want me to make this also VTOL? You know I'll fucking do it, but then we'll be here for an hour. Let's set that as the next design goal. I want to see if aerodynamically this has got what it takes to get up. You know I'll do it. You know I will. I built the gosh darn Millennium Falcon and I made it VTOL, so if I can make the Millennium Falcon VTOL, I can make this VTOL. I'll show what a tip if I do that. I think that'll be good, but we're gonna need to move these in more, which is fine. Do reduce authority by, let's try 70. 60? 50. I don't like when things go inside of other things. Okay. Fuck. Hmm. All right, we'll do VTOL. We're losing two rear engines though. Okay. So I found that using these aerodynamic pieces works better than using the attachment point pieces. That's awful. Those rocket pods or something. Why do they look like that? Are you referring to these? These are intakes. They do kind of look like rocket pods. I like that. Gives it an aggressive look. Angry cats. Okay, you're not wrong, but I don't know who told you that. Aw, you know me too well, Mac. Okay, so landing gear there. Now let's get some up front. Gonna want a slight tilt upwards to reduce how much we need to pull up on the runway. Put this here. Is it the right size? It's way too fucking big. Let's make two of them. Let's reverse them. I don't use mods. I'm a little envious. Okay, bring this up a little bit more. Let's try this one. See what she wants to do. It's working! It's working! You got this. Look at that. Just up, and away. Can you take me high enough? Yeah, we have pushed past that critical speed boundary. We are now entering the next phase of atmosphere, so we should see a noticeable jump in our acceleration. 100% air breathing right now. Yo, Wowie, what's up? There we go. Oh yeah, fast AF. We got this. We're going to space. I don't know if we'll be able to make orbit though. Definitely fast. But Mac, you've got me thinking. I think I'm gonna go back and we're gonna do a speed build of the cursor craft, and we're gonna build upon that. And she gets up there, 105. Yeah, definitely not gonna. Should make a big ship, then blank the planet that was sectioned off by the. Sorry, your message got cut off. Yeah, so not as much punch as we had last time. It's okay. All right, guys, got a whole 7 of you here. I'm going to do a speed build for the easiest, low-tech, most maneuverable VTOL aircraft you could possibly make. Right now. We call it the Cursor Craft. We're going to build it, and then we're going to keep making better versions. So first things first, get yourself one of these. Do your things. Okay. 2 fuel tanks. Okay. This to here. Now this is going to be VTOL. It's going to be extremely maneuverable. Yes, but the drop off, Babera, the drop off is extreme. Once you get to a certain point, you're not nearly pulling in anything. Okay, so we got our nose cone here. We're gonna add that right there. Like to give it a little bit of an offset look like that. Okay, and then back here, our primary intake is also gonna be this Mark One divertless supersonic intake. I'm gonna put this like this. Okay, and then we're going to get ourselves. Let's go with the Whiplash engine. Practical limit. What is that? 21, 22,000. Mac, you're still in chat. You what's the? Yeah, 20,000. Mac knows. Okay. So this is essentially the drivetrain of the cursor craft, right? But we're gonna make this VTOL, all right? And got a really clever way to do that. I take this off of here for a second. We're gonna grab payload, service bay. This one. You're gonna open that up, okay? When it's like that, structural, cubic octagonal strut. You're going to put 2 of these in here. Then you're going to rotate it. We don't want to snap it to anything. Put that there, okay? Next, we're going to grab this intake, little one, little tiny one. We're going to use Juno engines, and these are going to be the secret to our VTOL. Real clean, very mindful, very demure. Intakes, and then our Juno engines. Oop, come back. Okay. Now it's just a matter of getting these things to fit nicely in there. Okay. A little X-ray work here. Oh, bring those in. a bit. Bring that up right there. In one more. Fine tune it. Let's close this and see how it looks. Is it hidden? No, it's not. So we're going to bring that up. Bring that. Bring that up. Bring it in. Let us begin. Okay, there we go. Oh, we want those to be in. See how that looks. Close. Almost. I think we can bring these up a little bit. Nope. There we go. No. Unsatisfactory. There we go. One more. All right, I think we did it. All right, so that is the basis of the VTOL unit. So we're going to save that as a subassembly. We call that a Mark 1 VTOL. So we got one there. Open this up. Yes. Okay, so once we got that like that, we're going to go to our actions. And we want the act of activating our landing gear to open and close. Turn this and turn this off. So toggle engine and toggle service bay. All right, we're going to build this in the VTOL mode, and we'll have everything set to switch around for regular flight. So copy that, put that there, put that there, put that there. Okay. Now, if we take this down to 0% thrust, that means the only thrust on this is going to be coming out of these, at least for this purpose. So center of mass, center of thrust. We want that to be, well, that's honestly pretty fine, but we'll add a little bit of stabilization. Should balance it out. So command and control, inline stabilizer. I think we're gonna put that behind the cockpit. I think that'll work nicely. That much space should be more than fine. We're gonna add wings now. Don't need much, considering how fast this thing's gonna go. This is gonna be probably one of the fastest things in the atmosphere you've ever seen. So let's grab my personal favorite wings, the swept wings. Spin these forward. Bring them out. You see, we're getting the micro movements on the weight here, so should be able to have it perfectly fine tuned. Bring that in. Okay. And then my favorite wings to pair with these are the Delta Deluxe winglets. See, snug in right there. Okay. So how are we looking aerodynamically? We're going to bring those back a bit. Thank you very much, View. I appreciate that. Put that right to there. Okay. Now, with this setup, we do not need landing gear. And in fact, one of the strongest things you can have your vehicle land on are these cargo bay doors. So we're gonna try it just like this. I'm gonna put this to 100% thrust now that I'm done with my measurements underneath. I'm gonna separate the two of them. First stage, we're gonna activate VTOL. Okay, and then gear. Could actually set this engine to custom 1. We don't always want that to turn it on and off with our VTOL. Set that there. We'll actually tell it to turn on with everything else. And let's launch her. And let's see what the cursor craft can do. Very simple design, very elegant, and definitely scalable. You can just keep adding more of these inline units throughout your craft, and as long as you keep that balance there, you'd be really surprised at how powerful these Juno engines can be under these specific circumstances. Engines activated, deactivating main engine. Okay, VTOL engines are a go. Full thrust. Now the only downside to the Juno engines is they have a bit of delay. But once you can compensate for that, you will find them to be very useful. We're about to take off straight up. Look at that. Not as stable as I'd like. Okay. I want it to be a little bit more stable than that. So, two main fuel sources right here. We got 80 and 200. Let's make that rigid. Okay. We have no means of electrical storage, so we need to add that. Okay, I'm going to put this back down to 0 so I can fine tune the vertical thrust. Center of mass should be centered with center of thrust. So we need to bring that back. So we can do that by actually reducing this. Let's go 80 for this pair. A little bit too much. 85. Alright, so 85 looks like it will be perfect. So it's going to be a little bit more powerful in the rear than the front. That should be fine. Fuel's going to drain evenly across the craft, so our weight more or less should stay about this, but we'll see how she goes. Okay, that's our one intake here. I think I want more intakes though. So one of my favorite things to do is to grab one of these big elevons. That's what it's called. Fat 45 airplane control surface. Okay. So I'm going to turn off pitch, yaw, and roll. It's not going to go here. And I'm going to grab myself some of these intakes. Toggle snap off, toggle symmetry on. Line those up along the edge. Now, one of these on their own, I think it's like 0.5 for intake. Not very much. 6 of them, I mean, that's a decent amount. Okay, now I'm going to grab this. We're going to turn our snap back on. See how we are looking aerodynamically. Mac. That's cool. I like drop pods. Aerodynamics says there. Where did oh, there it is. Bring that forward. And let's add, for the first time, a little bit of thermal relief. Just to fill that space in there. There. How do we like that? Look good? Activate. Activate. Okay. So this, theoretically, should be the fastest in-atmosphere craft I can make. Set that to 80. Casual comment. Okay. All right. Let's launch. Ignition. Toggling off main engine. VTOL engines on. Full throttle. Here we go. Yeah, it's not enough. Just need a little bit more power. Hold on, I was not able to read that comment. Let me bring that up again. I'm super moving forward, Mac. I think I added too much. I wanted. You know what? I think it's the radiators that are doing it. Had very tiny wheels. Well, thank you, Bear. I appreciate that. I yeah, I am pretty locked in on the console version, so. All right, we gotta shed some weight. No. We're gonna shed some weight. So we don't technically need the electricity. I'm gonna try to keep that. We don't actually technically need that either. I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay, let's see how we look aerodynamically. Good on aerodynamics. We turn this off. Okay, let's get a little bit more power to the front. Let's go 85. I like hamburgers. This should work. Maybe not as lux, but we should be fine. Let me No, because this has a stabilization, a reaction wheel in it. We should be fine. Yeah, this should be good. Should be good. Fingers crossed. Okay. With the weight reduction, is it enough? Not quite. Not quite. You know what? We don't need the ramjet engine either. I think we'll switch that for just a regular Panther. Speed should not be an issue whatsoever. Okay, aerodynamics look good. Turn that to 0. See how our thrust looks. A little anemic in the back, so let's put 100 there. Absolutely perfectly centered. Okay. All right. Okay. Put this back to 100. Now we'll set that to switch with 1. Toggle engine. There we go. All right. Here we go. We'll come back and we'll make one that uses the ramjet next. It's working. Look at that. Super stable. Now, always was. See what our top speed is with this. Yeah, but no, like the endearing kind of people, right? Endearing people, like for the greater good kind of guy. Heat shield and a crumple zone. That's impressive. Did you know that you could achieve such speeds with a singular Panther afterburner? Well, of course you do, man. Regularly. Okay. Thank you. For the people who don't play this game more than I do. This is a cool design, but I think we can do better. The ramjet. Well, I think to find the limit for the ramjet, we just need to build sleekest, the sleekest setup. So, I meant to save this as a, I meant to save this as a subassembly, and I did not. Okay. 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 I don't know if you're asking me, but I don't have access to mods. I'm on PlayStation 5. Now my Minecraft world, that's something different. I got quite a lot, but here, no, purely vanilla. Need a little vertical. That's awesome. Okay, so that should be fast, right? Should be pretty danged fast. Uh, hmm. Oh yeah. Nah. Thought I liked it. Turned out I didn't. Yes. Yes, the PS5 does handle big crafts. I don't want the stock ones on. There we go. We just use little tiny landing gear this time, yeah? No. No. There we go. I don't even know what I'm doing here, but you know how it is. Sometimes you get an idea and you're like, wow, I wonder what that's gonna do. So we're gonna see what this is gonna do. I look like a burrito. Your crumple zone worked well? Oh dear God. Jesus. All right, so we learned we actually don't need those wings at all. Actually, probably just yeah, we got to turn those off. And I really think that if we just put two of these on here, we'll be fine. Come on, there it is. Put that right there. Let's see what that wants to do. And then I think I'll load up one of my bigger crafts. That's an absolutely fuck no. Okay. Well, not even a little. Landing gear's overrated. Open up, mama bird. Bleh. Okay. Center of thrust needs to come down a bit in the front. Let's go, yes, 70. 70 was perfect. Look at that. Rigid detach. Rigid detach. Okay. And we want this to turn off with custom one. Ditching a plane in total darkness. Truly based. Ba 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 ba. Oh, I forgot to set that to. Whoops. It's essentially a candle at that point. Set that 65. You know, I'm starting to think my PS5 either doesn't have fans or I just I don't know. I've never even heard it rev up. Unlike my PS3, which sounded like a garbage truck. There we go. I think it's mostly just about how how you space them out. This craft is a dumpster fire. Let's see here. It'll load up one of the other save files. Let's go. There we go. Someday I'll make a space version of this one. But Barry, you're such a nerd. I like it. You know, you know about it more than I do. Let's see here. Hey, thank you. Real proud of this one. It's okay, kid. I know some maneuvers. I will eventually make a better version of this that goes to space. I promise. You see, I thought about using the cupola, and I wanted to. I really did. But my problem with that was you couldn't have two people sit in the cupola, right? So the only reason we don't use the cupola is because it's a single seater. This one was very carefully designed for atmospheric travel. Pronouncing what wrong? Well, how do you pronounce it? Cupola. Is it? Is it cupola? Okay. All right. I will say cupola from now on. Cupola. It's not a word I use in everyday speech, so forgive me. No, the ship is not. It's not sleek. It's not pretty, right? But it is iconically a pile of turds, and much like the actual Millennium Falcon, it's just kind of cobbled together at this point. But it works. Proof of concept. It even has opening bay doors that you can walk through. Yeah, check that out. Yeah, had to make some design changes to make things actually want to work right, but it's not fast though, or graceful. But oddly enough, the survivability rate with this craft is usually higher than that. I'll crash it one time so you can see what it looks like. Then I'll show you some of the other stuff I got going on. Cupola. Ah! Oh no. Made of entirely too many parts, if you ask me. But there was a design challenge, and I'm not one to shirk it. Got some other things to show you, though. Let's see here. I really need to go back to my career mode as well. I usually stop about the time I start making spaceships. Like big ones. I mean, they're all spaceships, but I like assembly and orbit. Let's see what I got here. Ah, how about this, eh? Call this the Explo Rover. Super oriented for off road, but it's got some hidden features. Whoa, that was the wrong button. Whoops. But try that again. That was the make it blow up button. Okay, so 8. Yes. Get up. I know we seem to have fallen down. That's okay. This craft has something that most craft don't have, an elevator, which I think is this button. Yeah, there it is. Yes, Mac mobile launch platform. With the slowest elevator. Thank you. Part of a group on Facebook for Kerbal, and we go hard sometimes. Okay, and it's no. Yes. Okay. Wait. Yeah. It's been a while since I've flown this. Come on, get out of there. There we go. It's pistons. I'd like to fly this not broken. This pistons. I'll zoom in on it so you can see. 8 opens the door. Yes. Okay. It's been a while. When it's on sale, like $10. It's worth it though. It adds some pretty cool stuff. Yeah. So the elevator is just this piston here. Come on, get up there. Come on. Oh my gosh. Oh, that would help. I forgot to turn the brakes on. This is more proof of concept than anything. Okay, grab it. Yep. Board it. Yep. Turn that off. Yep. maximum throttle. There we go. Okay. And then. Hi. There we go. So this is the mobile launch platform for the Cursor Craft. Altern- Alternative to building the inline units, I do it like this. It's not as sleek looking, but gets the job done. Oh yeah, no, I'd never get past Duna ever. My game always crashes and I lose my data. So I spend most of my time just building aircraft. It's safe for the most part. I mean, now if you talk to some people, they're really good at avoiding that. But me, I like to over engineer everything. But it does seem like if you're time skipping, or I know using um, interstage nodes on the uh, payload fairings, that can cause problems too. But there are ways around it, and there's ways to back it up. It's a one-off. It's not like a guaranteed. So if you're following like the proper protocols to keep your data safe, which is kind of a pain in the ass on PlayStation, but much easier on computer, then you're fine. You just revert and just avoid the thing you did. On console, it's a constant battle. That's why I have so many different save files. Let's see what else. I know I just lost one. Did I lose my tank? I don't think I lost my tank. We got the spin dragon. Yeah, yeah, you like this one. Um, I like the English Electric Lightning. That's the one with the engines that are up and down, right? It's got two engines up and down. Let's see what else I have on this. Yes. Okay. Oh, I think so. It's an awesome plane. I love aircraft. Honestly, that's why I play GTA. I did not, but if it seems like whatever that is, then yes. I mean, I'm sure that's in my brain somewhere. I just thought, how can I get missiles into a space? Because we're in the group and we do competitions, and a lot of people just strap just like a ton of stuff to the bottom of their craft when we're doing, like, because we'll have events like, you know, record yourself bombing the desert temple or so and so forth. And a lot of guys they'll just strap 100 things to the bottom of their aircraft, and I was like, well, how do I make it look sleeker than that, right? Like, because we don't do it like that anymore, not all the time. Let's see here.